Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to do the Wiley Coyote problem for physics. Alright, first we know that the mass equals 75 kilograms and the height equals 125 meters. First thing we have to solve for is the potential energy at the top. For that we use the formula potential energy equals mgh, which is mass times gravity times height. So we would do potential energy equals the mass, which is 75, the gravity, which is 9.8, and the height, which is 125 meters. We multiply all those together, and for that answer we get 91,875. Next we have to find the kinetic energy at the bottom, and that answer will be the same as the potential energy at the top, so that answer is also 91,875. Alright, next we have to find the velocity at the bottom. For this we use the formula kinetic energy equals 1/2 mv squared. So we take kinetic energy, which would be 91,875, which we found right here, equals 1/2 the mass, which is 75, velocity squared. Then we know that 91,875 equals 37.5 velocity squared. Divide both sides by 37.5. Then we get 2,450 equals velocity squared. Take the square root of both. For that answer, we get 49.5. Alright, next we have to find the potential energy at 60 meters off the ground. For this we also use potential energy equals mass times gravity times height. So the mass is 75, gravity is still 9.8, and the height is now 60 meters. For that answer, after you multiply them all, you get 44,100. Next you have to find the kinetic energy at 40 meters off the ground. The way I solve this problem is I know that the kinetic energy at 40 meters off the ground would be the same as the potential energy at 85 meters off the ground. Now how I got that is in this formula. It says that the kinetic energy at 40 meters off the ground, and we know that the cliff is 125 meters tall, so I just subtracted 40 from 125 and I got 85. So that's how I got that. So then we can just use the same formula, potential energy equals mgh, mass times gravity, 9.8, and then 85 is the new height. Multiply all that out, and for that answer I got 62,475. Next we have to find the velocity at 18 meters off the ground. For this is a three-step problem. The first step is we have to find the potential energy. So we do PE equals mgh, potential energy equals the mass, which is 75, the gravity, which is 9.8, and the height, which is now 18 meters. You multiply all that out and you get 13,230. Next step is to find the kinetic energy, and the shortcut to do it for this part is to take the potential energy of the top and subtract it from the potential energy at 18 meters. So you take the potential energy from the top, which we found right here is 91,875. Subtract that from the potential energy at 18, and which we found right here is 13,230. For that answer we find 78,645. Alright, and then the last step for that is to find the velocity. For that we use the kinetic energy equals 1/2 mass times velocity squared. So the kinetic energy we just found is 78,645 equals 1/2 mass, which is 75, velocity squared. So 78,645 equals 37.5 velocity squared. Divided by 37.5, and we get 2,097 0.2 equals velocity squared. Take the square root of both, and we get velocity equals 45.79. Next, we have to find the potential energy halfway. Earlier, we found the potential energy at the top was 91,875. So we take that number, and because we're trying to find it for halfway, all we have to do is divide it by 2. And for that, we get 45,937.5. And potential energy halfway will be the same as the kinetic energy halfway, so that answer is also 45,937.5. And that is how you solve the Wiley Coyote problem.